In the previous video of this section, we created a new layout tab called Stair A. We added a new scaled viewport at 1 to 20. That's obviously a metric scale, not an imperial scale. And we did that for Staircase A. Now, Staircase A is here in the Model tab, and I'm in the Model tab at the moment. What we're going to look at now is locking our viewport in our Layout tab. This retains the view characteristics of the viewport and also the scale of the viewport. So let's click on Stair A, the Layout tab here, like so. And there's our viewport there. I'm just going to pan that up slightly to the center of the screen, just for clarity more than anything else. Now, if I click on the edge of that viewport and just select the viewport itself, can you see there's the 1 to 20 scale? Now, I can change that scale at any time just by clicking on the 1 to 20 and clicking on a different scale on the list. But I don't want to. I want to keep that view and keep that scale. At the moment, though, the viewport is unlocked. If I double click inside that viewport and activate it, and I can tell that because the model button is on here on the status bar, if I roll backwards on the wheel, I've now completely screwed up the view and the scale of that viewport. If you look at the scale now, down at the bottom on the status bar, it's 0.012254. I really do not have a clue what that comes out as a scale. So that's probably 1 to something. Don't know what. But it's completely messed up my viewport because that viewport was unlocked and somebody unwittingly has decided to zoom or pan in that viewport. So what I need to do is I need to lock the viewport at the 1 to 20 scale on the view that I want. So I go back down here, select the scale, select the 1 to 20 on the list. Now it's a metric drawing, so I'm getting all the metric scales. If I was working using an imperial template, AutoCAD would display the imperial scales. So I click there and I now need to pan in the active viewport like that. Let's get my view back. There's my stairs there. Roughly centralize them. They don't have to be perfect. Obviously, that's where I want it to be roughly inside the viewport. Now, double click outside the viewport to deactivate it. Like so. So we've got the view and we've got the scale back. Select the edge of the viewport and click. Like that. If you come down to the status bar, can you see that little padlock there? If I click that now, it locks the viewport at that scale and that view. If I now activate the viewport by double clicking and try and zoom in and out, if I zoom in and out, look, can you see it doesn't affect the viewport now? It's actually moving the sheet in the Layout tab instead. So that's what locking your viewports does for you. Now, if I want to unlock it, the viewport is selected at the moment and it is active. So just double click outside the viewport to deactivate it first. Then select the viewport, click on the padlock again on the status bar, that unlocks it. If I click on the lock again, it locks it again. So it's a little toggle just to switch it on and off. But the benefit you have is if that is locked, the view characteristics are maintained and the scale is also maintained. You want that to stay at 1 to 20 because that's the one that you want to work with. So that's the advantage of locking your viewports in your layout tabs in AutoCAD 2017.